What's going on, guys? It's UrAvgConsumer, and today we've got a very special unboxing from our friends over at Beats. Inside of here are the new Beats Studio Pros, and this is gonna feel like a blast from the past for me. You know, I started a channel on Beats, Beats Solo, Beats Executive, Beats Studios, Beats Studio Wireless 3, and they haven't updated their over-ear headphones in like 5 years. So let's get to unboxing. Ooh, new style of packaging, okay. And this is the box. This kind of reminds me of like the Sony headphones. You know how they've got like that recycled packaging? This kind of gives me that vibe. And I'm all here for using recycled materials. So we got the headphones up front, list of features out here in the back, and it shows compatibility with Android, Apple TV, phone, iPhone, and the iPad. Now, Beats has always been big on packaging, but enough about that. Let's see what they got inside. Okay, that's satisfying. Oh, new kind of case too? Oh, this is a nice travel case. Okay. Now we've also got some paperwork. So you can scan this for the product guide. You got some Beats stickers, and you get some Apple Music and some warranty and safety information. And that's it. It's the paperwork, that's the box. Let's get to the headphones. So this is it, and I am digging the new case. So it's not a hard shell case like these. I don't remember off the top of my head when the last hard shell case came out, but this I like because it's really compact. I can see myself just throwing this in a backpack and it sitting in a corner. This travel case I am a fan of. It's not hard, but it's also not just like soft. It has some structure to it, so I'm all about that. So we've got the Beats Studio Pros here. We have surprisingly, a 3.5 millimeter cable. I don't know, I feel like because of the AirPods Max, I wasn't really expecting this, but I'm glad that it's here. And we've also got a USB-C to C cable, so you can go ahead and charge this. I think the last version had like micro USB. It's been a while.
Does that still have the Beats logo
on the cables? No, it's all pretty tame here. Just a regular gray cable, no markings, no logos. And the pouch is kind of dope. It has 2 slots on one side and a zippered pouch over on the other side. Okay, those are the accessories. Let's look at the headphones. I mean, they look like a pair of Beats wireless, but like we saw with the cables not having a logo, it looks like they only have the logo over here. Right here at the hinge, they typically have like the name of the headphone, like the wireless or something. This is just like this brushed look. Yeah, there's nothing else besides the B, and there's like a small logo on the inside, but they've toned down the branding a bit. You've got your power button right here on the right bottom of the ear cups, as well as your USB-C. And right under the power button, you've got 5 LEDs to let you know your current battery life. So at full, all 5 light up. When it's dead, none light up. On the left side bottom, you've got your 3.5 millimeter port. The B on the left ear cup is a functional button. So, you know, play, pause, skip a track, go back a track, all that from right here. On top and below that, you've got your volume control. So volume up, volume down. Same stuff we saw with the previous version of these. Now, hold on, we got the previous version here. I wanna see how much of a difference there is. Ah man, these look almost exactly the same. Except there's like I said, less branding, no Beats at the top of the headband. And while that may be one exterior design change, there's quite a few internal design changes as well. All right, you guys, so now that I've spent a little bit of time with the Beats Studio Pros, I've got some thoughts. So from a design perspective, this looks very similar to the previous generation. It's almost exactly the same, but there are a couple of things that are different, and that's pretty much around the ear cups. So the cushions are different compared to the previous version, and I feel like it's a bit of a trade-off here. Now, Beats are calling these their ultra plush cushions, and they're definitely very plush, very comfortable. These have like a nice leather feel to it, and they are very soft. But the difference here is actually the height of the ear cushion, or maybe the depth of the ear cups. These are a little bit shallower compared to the previous version. It definitely gives you that really snug feel. So the previous ones were a bit deeper, and if you're familiar with something like the AirPods Max, those are deeper as well. And we'll be making some comparisons to the AirPods Max. But this has a shallower feel, so I do think it is gonna be possible to get like ear fatigue over time. Still extremely comfortable. Like I'm chilling right now, you know? But I think for maybe like really long flights or something, I don't know, everyone's mileage may vary. See what I did there? Yeah, you like that. I will say though, the material of the black, it attracts a lot of fingerprints and just very little usage. I got fingerprints all over this guy. So that is something to look out for. If you want to avoid that, you might want to look at the sandstone color. I don't think fingerprints are going to show up that much on that one. But for the black ones, I don't know, if you got like oily fingers, take a look at your keyboard, you're gonna get some fingerprints on this. So heads up if that bothers you, bring around a microfiber cloth. It does bother me though, and I've been wiping this thing down like crazy. But build wise, I'm not too concerned about this. It's got some nice flex to it. Whoa. Can't believe I haven't done something like that in a very long time, like that. Those bend tests for headphones, oof, ugh, I feel gross. I'm gonna be doing that no more. But yeah. It is pretty solid. Now, one thing that I do like about these headphones is that they are foldable. Unlike the AirPods Max, you can't do that. These are foldable, so that means they get a bit more compact. And for their carrying case, it makes it very easy to have this small little pouch, and you can take this thing with you. But now let's talk about the features. So right off the bat, we mentioned before that this thing does work with both iOS and Android. So depending on your ecosystem, if you're all Google, all Apple, this is gonna work for both sides. So this is not like trying to get a pair of AirPods and forcing them to work with, you know, any Android devices. And you pretty much get access to all the features except for being able to call out to Siri. This one does listen out to Hey Siri. If you use an Apple device, you'd have to use the voice assistant button if you have something else. You also get one tap pairing for both platforms. So as soon as you power it on, put it in that pairing mode, it is going to show up on your device and you sync away. Now what's nice is that it syncs to your account, so you can use it with multiple devices. So if you've got your iPad, your Mac, it is going to show up on the list. Now, it's not like a seamless transition like what we would see with a pair of AirPods, where it's kind of like this handoff feature, but you will be able to see it on your Bluetooth list, and you can select it if you're on an Apple device. And it does do handoff with the Apple Watch. So if you happen to leave your iPhone behind, it'll automatically pair to the Apple Watch. I don't think I've ever paired a pair of Bluetooth headphones to my Apple Watch before, so I don't know, have you guys?
No, that situation hasn't come yet. So.
Fair enough. And on the Google side of things, if you have an Android device or a Chromebook or another compatible device, it will be able to do that audio switch between those different devices. Now, one more feature, do we even call it a feature? The headphone jack is here. A lot of folks are now just all in on Bluetooth. This does still give you the flexibility of using the 3.5mm jack. And 3.5mm jacks still have use cases. Like, you know, if you want to use it with your laptop, or if your headphones die, you can still plug them in and just use them as, you know, regular headphones without all the noise canceling and all that. One thing that I am happy about though is that this thing can be used while it is charging. So like the Bluetooth headphones from back in the day, while they were charging, you could not use them. Even if you can put them over your head, if you had it plugged in, you probably couldn't use it. Nowadays, we're seeing that change. This you can use while it's plugged in. The AirPods Max also allow you to use them while plugged in, so I'm very happy to see that here. Now, these also have a USB-C mode that gives you access to these different equalizer settings. One is for entertainment, one is the signature Beats profile, and the other is for voice. So you can hear voices a little bit more clearly, some dialogue. So if you want to have a phone conversation or maybe listen to a podcast, that's probably the mode you want it to be in. And to cycle through those three modes, all you have to do is press the power button while it's charging. And of course, this thing does have active noise cancellation as well as transparency mode. Active noise cancellation works great. Listen, I'm always surrounded by white noise these days. This did a really, really good job at just completely drowning out the white noise that my kids use to go to sleep. So very, very good on the active noise cancellation end. Now the transparency mode, I am spoiled by AirPods. AirPods have the absolute best transparency mode. It's like you've got nothing between your ears and the world. This, not so much. This, I kind of felt like the transparency mode It did a good job at letting me hear what I needed to hear around me. Nobody sounded robotic or weird, but Dom made a point. It's the room tone kind of gets picked up. And for my folks who don't know what that is, you can basically hear like the little hummings of the stuff going on around you, like the refrigerator sound and all that. Like you can just kind of pick up on it. And it's a little bit more prominent than I'm used to with the AirPods, but it's not worse than a lot of the other headphones out there, since AirPods are just like leagues better than a lot of headphones out there right now. Now, what's also great is that these have baked in settings to your iPhone, so you can just jump into your Beats Studio Pro Max right here on the list, and you get access to all the settings that you want right here with the settings app. And in here, you can change things like how your button cycles perform, whether or not they're changing noise cancellation or transparency or just the regular off. It also allows you to personalize your spatial audio experience. So for those folks out there who enjoy listening to something with spatial audio, this is capable. It also has dynamic head tracking. So it'll track the position of your head to your content. So as you move, things stay in place. And on the Android side of things, you of course get the dedicated Beats app, so you can control all the things you need to in here as well. Now, the last feature is the Find My. I think on both platforms, you can find the last place that this thing was connected to your device. So let's say you left it at a park, you can backtrack and see that that's where you last had it. So clearly this thing has a lot of features going for it, but there are some things missing here that I really wish weren't. So one of them being, my biggest thing is the fact that it doesn't have like a proximity sensor. So when you're wearing these, usually with headphones with a proximity sensor, when you take them off, it like auto pause your music or whatever you're listening to. That's not here. And at 350 bucks, we know that all the AirPods are capable of doing it. And I know AirPods and Beats are different, but they share a lot of stuff. So proximity sensors, I think would have been really nice here. One other thing is like an auto sleep feature. I've left these alone for a while and played something on my phone only to hear it playing on the headphones far away. I'm like, that thing never turned off. So that's not a good way to manage battery. And even though this doesn't have like that auto sleep feature, battery life is solid here. You get 40 hours without active noise cancellation. With those features on, of course, it goes down to 24 hours, which is very solid. And if you happen to kill these things, in 10 minutes, you can get 4 hours of playback. So if you got a crazy long commute, not gonna be an issue. Or maybe you've even got a commute and a trip to the gym, you should be completely fine with just 10 minutes of charging. And the last thing that's missing here is sweat or water resistance of any sort. So to my knowledge, this doesn't have an official IP rating, but I do know a lot of people take Beats to the gym and they're just fine. They would make good gym headphones. I just don't know how they deal with sweat. I haven't been to the gym in a while, so I haven't been able to test that out. I'm not gonna lie. You looking at my gut, Jay? Damn. Okay, so now the biggest thing, sound quality. So this is definitely an evolution to the previous Studio Wireless, Studio 3 Wireless. This has a more refined sound, where the previous version, it got very loud. This just seems like a calmer, more refined version, and it actually sounds extremely similar to me to the AirPods Max, which are quite a bit more money. So that is a really good thing. Now, there is a difference in the way the audio comes in a little bit when you're comparing them to the AirPods Max because of those ear cups. So because the ear cups are a bit more shallow and they kind of rest on your ears a little bit more, I feel like it kind of changes the sound stage just a bit. And by sound stage, I'm talking about how the music encompasses you, how it feels overall. It feels a little bit different because of the overall feel of the ear cups. Now, if I was trying to get a pair of AirPods Max for the low, this is it. So Beats' new custom 44mm active driver, the thing in the ear cups to give you the sound, that sounds completely different from the previous version. So if you were going from that to this, sound quality wise, it's an absolute upgrade. So this has a lot of things to bring to the table. It does cost 350 bucks. I personally think, depending on your situation, this could be a really good pickup. So if you wanted something like the AirPods Max, you wanted that nice audio quality, but you didn't maybe want to pay the price, or maybe you don't even like the way it looks, this is a really solid option. This is a good looking headphone. I don't care what anybody says. You just kind of miss out on a couple things, but this is an easy runner up to that if you don't want to spend the extra money. But also if you want something that sounds as good as the AirPods Max, but you're not an Apple user, you can pick these up, get really great audio quality, use it with your Android or other devices, and have a good time. But let me know what you think, guys. What do you think about the new Beats Studio Pros? But that about wraps it up for this video, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, be the cool guy or girl that gives this video a thumbs up. It's been forever since we reviewed a pair of Beats headphones, not earbuds, but headphones. I'm glad they're back. Until next video, guys, UrAvgConsumer. Peace. You saying something? Siri, you listening? Probably.